My cheating fiancé who left me wants to get back together after getting pregnant with another man's child. I'm also gonna dump her like AP did. In December of 2020, I unexpectedly lost the job I planned on retiring at, and for the first time in my life, spiraled into a deep depression. Instead of opening up or seeking help, I turned to weed and began pretty much being high on all of my off time. I didn't smoke weed when I first got with my ex. She was not cool with it, leading to a lot of fights. Rightfully so. On top of the fighting, she could feel me withdrawing and reacted in a way where I felt completely smothered. So in April of this year, I made a haste decision on a Tuesday night at 10 p.m. to throw away a great relationship and life without even attempting to fix things or going to couples counseling. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I passed forward a few months to July 2021 when I started getting my life back together, and I realized I've made a huge mistake. My ex and I have been talking the past couple of weeks, and we both wanted each other back. Yesterday, she came over and we talked for a few hours before having sex for the first time in months. Afterwards, she breaks down and reveals she just found out she's pregnant by another man. When we were together, we wanted so badly to start a family. She has PCOS, and we tried to conceive for about a year and a half and just couldn't, even with fertility drugs and frequent doctor visits. This new revelation that she is pregnant by her rebound, another one of her exes, instead of me, is absolutely devastating. She still wants me back and I want her back, but I just don't know how to wrap my head around this or if I should even go back. It's totally my fault for breaking things off, and I don't blame her one bit for seeking the comfort of another man. I just don't know how to handle this, and I'm completely tore up. Now I'm worried that I was the infertile one, and I feel so incredibly sad that it isn't my baby inside of her. I suggested that maybe she should try things out with this other guy in the interest of the kid, and she says she just doesn't want to be with him. How do I cope with this, and what should I do? Neither of us would ever entertain the idea of abortion or adoption. Let's check some relevant comments. Digga McGree says, you need to take a few days here without her and contemplate proxy fatherhood, because that's what staying with her means. It means you are going to actively participate in raising this child. Because in 7 months or so, that's pretty much all her life is going to be going forward, and she isn't really going to have the time or patience to deal with both you and the kid as separate entities in her life. You're either going to get on board with a group project or you're gone. And you got to recognize that part 2 of your relationship with her is going to be a whole other ball of wax than part 1. You are going to sort down her list of priorities once the kid arrives. There is a huge chance that your sexual life with her is going to look very different once the kid arrives. It is super common for new fathers, even biological ones, to feel a level resentment towards the new baby because their needs and wants, which once took center stage, are now forever on the back burner. And here's the thing, it is okay to not be down for any of that. This is not your child, nor your responsibility. There's a guy out there who gets to be on the hook for child support. It won't be the first child raised in a home with a single mother. You can walk away if this is not the life you want to lead. But you gotta make a choice soon. If you cannot wrap your head around helping to raise a child that is not biologically yours, you need to go. This isn't one of those pro and con things, or your way sticking around with how much you love her. This is one of those decisions that gets made for you. And if you are not on board with proxy parenthood, figure that basic yes, no question out. And if you're down for it, then you can start trying to figure out putting a romantic relationship with her back together. Moving on to the next story. Wife leaves a volunteer and comes back a mom. My wife in February of 2020 left to do some volunteer work medical related. Not in as much contact as I would like, but still talk at least 2 or 3 times a month. She keeps getting extended. Finally, I get the call I have been waiting on that she is coming home at the end of July. I am super excited. That felt like my life has been on hold for over a year. This past Wednesday, I pick up her mom and dad and drive to the airport to get her. Mom asks if I am excited, which I say yes. She says so are we. Waiting to rush and hug and kiss my wife. I finally see her, and she is carrying a diaper bag and a baby 2 or 3 months old, I imagine. I stand there stunned. She hands the baby to her parents, walks over to me and says not in front of her parents, and we talk about it at home. And I just stand there, stupefied. I don't say a word the entire drive to drop off her parents. We leave her parents and I ask, what the hell is this? She calmly says, her name is Sophia and that all that matters is she needs you to be her father and she is a part of me, and if you ever love me, You will also love her and she knows I will do the right thing. I try to ask questions. She answers with, "It doesn't matter." I start getting angry. We get back to our rented condo. I walk in the house leaving her to deal with her luggage. I grab my duffel bag, drop her keys on the table, get my truck keys while she is asking me to get the baby out of her SUV. I walk by her, ignore her, got on my truck, and return to base. And for my CEO, what was going on? My CEO confined me to base and grounds me. I have a meeting on Monday with a lawyer and my wife is right. I am going to do the right thing. I walk by her and leave her in my wake. Let's check some relevant comments. Armor Teague says, "What kind of lunatic is she? In what twisted world inside her head? Does she think that you will just accept her absolutely trail by rug sweeping her sins and carry on like nothing happened? Just because the dude she slept with clearly wanted the fun, but not the labor, and kicked her to the curb. This is her basically asking you to cut your balls off and hand them to her as her reward for coming home with her affair baby? You are absolutely doing the right thing and divorcing this deviant. The fact that she calmly did this to you with no signs of remorse is disgusting and troubling. And it seems that her folks knew about this judging from their lack of reaction, which makes them just as evil. Dude, on behalf of your salvation, stay the course of divorce. No matter what comes out of your insane wife's mouth, go full 180. She doesn't deserve any second chances. Make sure she doesn't try flipping any scripts on you, falsifying claims of abuse, as reasons of cheating, etc. If she's as terrible as she shows herself to be, she's thinking of every conniving trick to pull to break you. Stay on your defensive, and if you can, send her back to her folks. She's their problem now. I feel bad for that infant that was brought into this. Don't feel any guilt for forfeiting your wife dirty tactics. She knows who the father is. That's on her to get her a fair partner to take up responsibility. You owe it to yourself to get clear of this monster. I'm sorry that this happened to your brother. Just keep your defenses up and get a good SL. Keep us posted and good luck to you. Stay strong. On to the next story. I cheated back on my wife who cheated on me to make a point. My wife and I were married for 12 years. For years into the relationship, she cheated on me. It was a hookup which I found out about later. She both did therapy, but I still couldn't get over it, knowing she gave away herself to someone she barely knows. I don't know what I should do now to get over this feeling. I have asked for a hall pass 2 years back, which she denied it, saying many years has passed and she isn't comfortable with it. I can't get over it, knowing she got away with cheating and can stay on a relationship with me without any repercussions. Why is it my responsibility to stay faithful while she can't stay unfaithful? I also fear that she will cheat on me again. I cheated her back 6 months ago with my female coworker who has shown interest in me, which my wife still didn't know about it. I don't regret my actions as I only cheated because she didn't accept my hall pass. My cheating was more of revenge cheat than actual cheating. My only concern is whether I should tell my wife about my cheating or not. Even if my wife found out about my cheating and chooses to divorce me, the fault of breaking a relationship still lies up on her. If she didn't cheat, I wouldn't think of cheating on her. I was the honest and faithful one in the relationship for years. Last cheating story. Serial cheating wife. Thought it was just once and we agreed to work through it, but have had a reveal and I feel like a chump years after the first one was discovered. Before I take flack and judgment on this story, I just need advice. I've picked myself up and dusted myself off, been through the 12 stages, and am ready to tackle the situation. The story goes like this. This started 11 years ago. I had a nagging suspicion my wife was cheating. 9 years ago, they were confirmed. She denied initially, then confirmed she was seeing a married man. I made a choice at this point because my parents split when I was younger and it destroyed my mother, me and my brother. I made a decision that my life was not going to be destroyed. I thought I could rescue the relationship. My wife got medicated with antidepressants and antipsychotics, which somewhat helped. We have autistic children, and although this was part of the reason for me not to dissolve the marriage and family, the subsequent situation hung on some conditions. 1. I got her social media and email access. 2. The affair was contained and no one would find out. 3. She came clean with a full story. It's been some time since the situation crystallized and it's been awkward. I actually think she is planning to divorce me at this point. We live in a no-fault state, by the way. On the 3 conditions mentioned above, 1. She subsequently changed her passwords. I have no access. 2. She had confided with someone that she had an affair, breaking our agreement. 3. She lied about the full details of the affair. And subsequently, I have found out this past month there were other affairs before and after. I feel like a complete chump. And before I get eaten up here, I want to say this. I am engaging a lawyer on how to proceed now. It's actually easy for me to meet with him as my aunt works for a law firm located across the street from where I work. I am a firefighter. I am tackling this head-on now. I can't ignore it or sit idle on it anymore. I realized I was an idiot to think a liar would come clean. I made my mistake, recognized it, and I'm taking action to fix it. Let's not focus on that. I believe her greatest fear in all of this is people knowing what she did. I now have photos, text messages, emails for each of the affairs. I can document the increasing immoral behavior over time. I have my paperwork all in order. The lawyer said I was the best documented client he has ever had. Some consolation. My question is, would folks that have been through this advise? I don't want to say blackmail as it's a dirty word, but to prepare an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, as part of the settlement documents. She is from a tiny town not far from where we live in the city. If this package of documents were sent to her family, friends, workmates, it would totally destroy her. Not one word of it is defamatory. It's 100% her messages and emails. She is extremely close to family and friends. Her parents love me, and I know if they knew what she has done her family with to Sony and many of her friends. There's reasons why this is true that I won't post here, but that is what will happen. All of these messages were retrieved from phones and laptops that are company assets and a company we both own. As owner, there is no place on them that I cannot go and no message that I cannot access on these devices. As long as they are not stored on a third-party password-protected service, i.e. Google or Facebook Messenger. And yes, she was that careless about it. I plan to use these materials to compel acceptance of the terms on the divorce agreement. To be clear, the terms are actually fair, and the reason to use the NDA is because the no false state rules will absolutely destroy me financially. I just want to get a sense of what you think of this. Appreciate constructive criticism on this. And if anyone has had a good result from this approach, let's check some relevant comments. Desert Rat says, go with the NDA. If you can get everything you want, living well is the best revenge. If you can get her to walk with little or nothing, so much the better, live well. Then when she sees how good you are doing, it will eat her up some. If it were not for the assets thing, I would say out her to everyone she knows and strangers on the subway. But if she does not want to do NDA, destroy her.